Guys, what's going on? Quick Twixtor tutorial and Flowframes tutorial, nothing crazy. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is you want to have your video on your timeline cut out, whichever one you're going to Twixtor, and you want its frame rate to match your comp's frame rate. So basically you could see its frame rate by going into the project panel and pulling this out. You could see right there it says 30, and you want your comp to also have the frame rate of 30. Once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and cut out each dead frame, and how you're going to do this is there's two ways. You can either time remap it or you can cut out each one individually. So I'm going to show both ways. So the first thing you're going to want to do is use your page up and down keys on your keyboard, and it's going to go a frame up and a frame down, and you want to start at the beginning. Now do page down until you see your character move and cut him out. As you can see, I'm not going to cut out when the background moves like this. The background's moving, but don't cut it out because your character did not move. So now, cut it out when your character moves. Cut it out. Now just do that for the rest of the clips. Now, once you've cut out all your clips, and you can see every cut, the frame moves, what you want to do is select the bottom and hold shift and then select the top one. Now what you want to do is grab onto any one of the ones selected and drag it all the way to the left. That will drag all of them down to one frame. Now as you can see, every frame is a frame that moves, right? This frame moves, this frame moves. Now do the same thing, select bottom to top. Now right click anywhere within this area and click keyframe assistant. Now just go down and press sequence layers and do not select overlap. Once you've overlapped them like this, you could see every single frame. If I just keep going page down, it moves. The character itself moves, not the background. Once you see that, what you're going to do is select bottom to top again, right click it. Now select pre-compose and press move all attributes into new composition. Make sure this one is checked. Now press OK. You can name this if you want to keep it organized, but I'm not going to. Now once you've done that, what you're going to want to do is go here, find the effects and presets tab. You're going to want to search up Twixtor Pro, and you're going to want to drag this onto your timeline, onto your video. Now in this in the effects controls, what you're going to want to do is just copy my settings. So for use GPU, I use on. You can use off, it's just slow. Now for in FPS is out FPS is the biggest one. You're going to want to uncheck this, and in this input frame rate, you're going to want to put your frame rate in. As I said, you can see that in the project. After this, go to image prep, make that contrast / edge enhance. Go to frame interp and make this motion weighted blend. Now you can make this inverse or forward, whichever one, it doesn't matter as much. Now once you've done that, you're going to want to go back down to your video, right click, and pre-compose it again using the same settings. Make sure you click this. Once you've done that, you're just almost done. Now what you want to do is you're going to want to right click it one more time, press time, and enable time remapping. Now you see these two keyframes, go to the last keyframe and it should be black if you did it all right. And you're going to press page up and go one frame backwards. Then you're going to want to make a new keyframe over here if you press this right next to the add keyframe at current time, and delete the old one, the one that's black. Now what you're going to want to do is you can take this keyframe and drag it out as long as you want your clip, right? I'm going to drag it all the way out to there, and you can cut it at the end. Now if you play your video, you could see it's smooth, right? Smooth. Alright guys, the second way to do it is the way I personally do it, and it's the time remap way. So what you're going to want to do, ideally, is have a script. I use this one, Uwu2X Pro, that has a setting to regroup. You could also use the anime scripter. This one works too, but I just use this one. So the first thing you're going to want to do is start at the beginning of your video, or your timeline, and right click. Now you're going to want to go to time and enable time remapping. Now you see this keyframe, you're going to want to make more of them on each frame that moves. So again, go forward using page down until it moves, make a keyframe. Go forward, page down, keyframe, forward, moves, keyframe. Now do that for all of the frames. Now after you've done that for every single one, What you're going to want to do is hold down left click and select all your keyframes, and then start at the final keyframe, hold Alt and drag these until it's just one at a time. Now see, this is very inconvenient because like it sometimes off and they like overlap. So an even easier way to do this, or a better way to do it that's just harder, is drag each keyframe down like this individually until they're each one frame ahead of each other. Now as you can see, this is taking a while. So the reason we use scripts is because if you just select all of them and then click regroup, it just does it all for you, right? They're all right where they need to be. Now once you've done that, you're going to want to go to where the last keyframe is, and you want to cut your clip. You can drag like this, or you can just cut it normally. Then you're going to want to pre-compose it. Again, right click, pre-compose, same settings, these two checked. Then we're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to drag Twixtor Pro. We're going to turn on GPU if you want. In FPS, out FPS, the same one as your clip. Image prep, contrast, edge enhance, and frame interp, you want to be motion weighted blend. Then it's basically the same from here. You just pre-compose, boom. You just go to time remapping, last frame, one frame back, keyframe this, delete the last one, drag it forward, cut it, then there's your clip. As you can see, it's now smoothly Twixtored. There's one more instance where you might need to do things differently, and that's where your clip is moving too much from the screen. Because if I Twixtored this clip normally, I'll play it, there would be a lot of warping, and I'll show that on screen right now. But how we can counter this is with a free software. The link will be in the description, called Flowframes. Right, this software it'll interpolate it, so it'll give it more frames, stuff a frame in between two frames. That'll make it a lot easier to Twixtor. So how we're gonna do this is we're gonna have our clip, right? We're gonna cut the timeline, the comp. We're gonna cut it down by dragging this blue thing. Then we're gonna right click this area and click trim to comp. Now what you're going to do is you have your clip, it covers your whole comp, it should be cut out. You're going to want to click file, export, add to render queue. Now you can name this whatever you want, but first you want to go to output module. You want to make sure this format is QuickTime, and then this click format options is on Apple ProRes 422 HQ. So basically this means that exporting this, it loses no quality at all because it's uncompressed. So once you've done that, just click render and it'll start exporting. Once your export is done exporting, you're going to want to go back to Flowframes. You're going to have this on screen, and then you're going to want to take your you're going to want to have the file of the comp that you just exported. This one, you want to drag it into Flowframes like so, and then this screen will pop up. So the first thing you're going to want is this to be set normal. Just leave that. You can leave all of these except output FPS and speed. You want to make sure it's 8x, right? That'll make 30 240, that'll make 60 360 380. AI model, you can leave this, but output mode, it cannot be on MP4 video. It has to be on MOV video, Apple ProRes. Once you've done that, just click interpolate, and once it's done interpolating, we can move on to the next step. After your video's done interpolating, you can just close this down. Now you're going to want to take your file, it's going to be in the same folder. It's going to be named your same plus a little extra 8x rife. You're going to drag that into your After Effects. Now go back to your comp and place that newly dragged video, place that right on your comp, right along with your old one. Now what you can do here is you can go to composition, comp settings, and increase the time of this. So I'm going to make it 13 seconds instead of 3 seconds. This will just make it a little easier. I like having more workspace. You can delete the old one now. Now you have a fresh clip, and we're just going to do Twixtor the exact same way as normal, as the way I just showed. Now your clip is Twixtored, as you can see. Now if you play your clip, you can see it's now smooth, right? It's Twixtor, as you can see. There's the Twixtor sim right there. There's some Twixtor. Now it's a lot smoother, right? This would be a really nice flow clip. It was flow framed. It looks really nice. So yeah. Okay guys, that's basically it. That's how you Twixtor clips and you flow frames them to if they got a lot of movement. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, because I will be making more tutorials, and I use my voice, so it's probably easier to understand than just reading text on the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you later.